Is that a werewolf?
Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Children must have already become a zombie. Camille must have already.
It's in the game.
You hear that? She said Jimmy.
Still has
And
time
they
to
said she called mama and said that I couldn't come on the iPad when I was in there minding my own business because she lied about it. That's right.
They don't play till the morning, bro. 49ers in Kansas City. They don't play till the morning. Look at San Francisco's overall. Look at Kansas City. I'm ready. Devon. Come on.
11 a.m. Check out. Mike Giver, one foul. Just to tell her it's one now. Seen a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes, but I don't trip about it. That's what happens when you got
I got all black. You got all what? Black. See, look. We play Super Bowl? We play Super Bowl? Super Bowl time.
Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got the Madden league. The team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some.
DJ, drop the bass down. Let me turn the beat up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 54, and we'll send you now to Miami, standing by to call their 4th Super Bowl together. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season, and now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past, and tonight we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 5-time Super Bowl champs from the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, many had ordained the Kansas City Chiefs to be the best team in the NFL coming into the season, and now here they are, one game away from their first Super Bowl title since Super Bowl IV 50 years ago.
And we'll get to that in just a minute, but how about this? This is their 5th straight playoff appearance. They went to overtime with New England in the AFC title game last year. Remember, they were down big at the half, came all the way back and had a chance to win, lost in overtime. Finally, climbed that mountain and got back. And do you remember Super Bowl IV against Minnesota? Remember Hank Stram as their coach? On the sidelines, mic'd up for the first time. That really gave us a lot of what we have now with NFL films. What a terrific performance by that Kansas City team, and they blew away the Vikings in that game.
Meanwhile, the 49ers are back in the Super Bowl for the 7th time in franchise history. One of the more successful teams in the Super Bowl era as they look to claim their 6th title, which would tie them with the Patriots. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Yellow, 54.
On 2nd down now, it's Williams. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now here's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. 25 yards that time. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. It'll go as a gain of 10 on a Kansas City 1st down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. On third down, here's Coleman. And an alley to run. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Well, one of the big questions in the lead up to Super Bowl 54, the health of Tevin Coleman. We saw him go down fairly early in that NFC Championship game against Green Bay, and you thought, oh boy, that doesn't look good. Separated shoulder, pop back into place, and he wants to give it a go.
And you understand that. I mean, the chance to get to the Super Bowl and play. He's been there once before, but that was with Atlanta, and that was a 28-3 game. That lead that they gave up against New England. He wants to try and get a ring himself, so if at all possible, he will give it a go. Fortunately for San Francisco, he's part of a 3-man rotation at tailback that includes Matt Breida, who's a backup, and Raheem Mostert, who has just blazed through the playoffs.
You mentioned that game against New England. Of course, Kyle Shanahan was also with Atlanta. He wants to right that ship, too. They'll run with Coleman on first down. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Check 21.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep, and this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for the Niners. 45 yards. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Rashad Breeland there defensively and able to knock that one down to the ground. A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Garoppolo, and he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Kansas City getting the football back here. This is a team ranked 6th overall in the NFL in offense. They were 5th in passing, but just 23rd in rushing. And we talked about Mahomes earlier, but how much do you think they need to run the ball to be effective in the Super Bowl?
Just enough to keep San Francisco's attention. Get those sprinter stances out of those defensive ends and defensive tackles on every snap. And they'll do it with Damian Williams at running back, but they also will include their wide receivers. Tyreek Hill, he'll do jet sweeps and maybe some option pitches. Don't forget McCole Hardman, he'll run the ball as well. And Travis Kelce, a lot of times it won't be a running play, it'll be a pass in the statistics. There'll be that little shovel pass behind the line of scrimmage. Do those things, keep San Francisco's attention, and then at the end of the day, you rely on number 15 throwing the football downfield.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. He's got a first down. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Here we go.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards the pickup there.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
It's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. No gain, and it's 2nd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
21. Here we go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo buying time to his left. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch Good for 5. It's third down.
Here we go.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Forced out to his left. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Well, partner, let's talk Super Bowl. We have to. Before the year, by the way, we made predictions for the Super Bowl. You got one of the teams right. You had Kansas City and New Orleans, but you had the Saints winning. I also had the Saints there, but losing to New England. And now we get a chance to rectify things. So who's going to win the big game? And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there. Mahomes to Watkins. 53 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in, but when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. An 8-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was all capped by Patrick Mahomes using his legs to get in the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 18 yards, first down Niners.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They'll throw out wide, complete to Sanders. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. Man, it's caught. at the 6-yard line. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say, they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And he works free. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 49 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Gets this one to Hill, and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. They go play fake. Mahomes. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And will they call it a touchback? No, it's out at the 1-yard line. They were inches there from blowing a golden scoring opportunity. 2nd and goal from the 1. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Blake Bell there to make the grab as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. 2nd down is always kind of that, do they throw it, do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Here we go.
A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Escaping the pressure right. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked by Kendall Fuller. A throw he probably shouldn't have made. Rolling left and then throwing back across the field.
And when you do that and you're rolling towards the sideline, you've cut down your field in a big way, significantly. And the guys who play in the 2nd and 3rd level, those linebackers and DB.
And Mahomes is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. To throw is Garoppolo. Drops it off for Coleman. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Handoff, Coleman, right side. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Garoppolo now, eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The never-tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. Able to power through. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get the... It's only back to the 20. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to...
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the Super Bowl.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Yellow, yellow. 180. Watch the curve.
Mahomes now on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. Charles, you and I have made our predictions for Super Bowl 54. We're coming soon, the official Madden NFL 20 Super Bowl prediction. Something Madden folks do every year is predict how they think the big game is going to play out. And that prediction, with the help, by the way, from Peyton and Eli Manning, is going to be revealed on Thursday, January 30th, 9 Eastern. Go to EA.com/theprediction to check it out. And keep playing Madden to feed the machine and tell us who you think will win as well. Again, it's EA.com/theprediction. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Let's go. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes...
And this will be caught at the 30. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes down for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Gold to add the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And the fake attempt here not going to work. Got a little yardage. But not enough to get to the goal line.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead, and oh, there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15... the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They're going deep for Hill. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And now running right through it. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. 23 yards the pickup there.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Here we go.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. A quick sidestep here, CD. The NFL doing something kind of neat for its 100th season, which wraps up with Super Bowl 54. They're inducting a 20-man class under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On the counter, here's Williams. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Keep it up, guys.
To throw, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first. Mahomes now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes being chased out left. Here by Bell. Able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Well, hey, CD, we talked about some of the guys that were going into the Hall of Fame, the 15 that we already know. But of the more modern-day players that are finalists, who do you think's going to get in?
That is really, really difficult. I'm glad you asked because it gives us a chance to kick it around just a little bit. Tony Baselli, the left tackle, a lot of people have not put him in, I think, due to longevity. But when he played, he was as good as it got. I mean, the best in the game. I think it's his time. I think he's going to find his way in, even though there's a backlog of offensive linemen like Steve Hutchinson's available. Alan Faneca's available. If you have to pick a safety out of this crew of Leroy Butler, Steve Atwater, John Lynch, Troy Polamalu. Good luck on that one, although I think Polamalu is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he gets in. I think Edgerrin James, the running back, it's his time. He should have been in a while ago as far as I'm concerned. It's time for him to go ahead and get his due and get in. And if you're a receiver, good luck. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Reggie Wayne.
Yeah. And look at this, it's a fake. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Mahomes now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Butker's kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Beamer Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Niners on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7. Now Garoppolo, flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
It was Reggie Ragland who got him down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2.
Mike 53. Not today, you are. Not 21. Check 4.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.